something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Preview.
It's Preview's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, Peaches! Oh, welcome to Fix It, where friends don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay. And you're our listener.
Yeah, man. Sticking around.
It's sticking around, I guess.
It had its chance to fail, and it did not fail, Jay.
We put it up there. I expected that to just fall out the window.
Yeah.
But people have embraced it.
They have embraced it.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Welcome to Fix It. We're Adam and Jay. We you may know us from our absolute taking over the planet. It's almost a danger to national security level successful.
Wow.
YouTube reaction channel previewed. But here at Fix It, every week.
Yep, we're almost a danger to national security. We're not.
It's gonna escalate
But it
every
could
week.
be.
Every week it's gonna escalate, bud.
Well, I mean, our subs are increasing each week.
Yes.
By a little bit, so technically
yeah.
we are
Just
larger and
slowly,
larger.
It's the slow knife, Flashy. It's the
Get-
slow knife.
Get Talia! Yeah! Get out of here, Talia!
We are Talia
Yeah.
Al Ghouling the internet. Take control. But every week,
boy.
we take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe left people wanting, and we fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would say we're just writing fan fiction, but whatever.
Some people would say we're writing fan fiction, and they're not technically wrong.
They're not technically wrong.
But who cares?
We're
It's
just trying to have fun.
We're trying to be fun and have a happy, fun time. Good fun time.
Happy, fun, good time.
Happy, good, fun time.
And today here at Fix It, Adam and I are going to be fixing, which, if I'm being 100% honest with you,
Please do.
has been giving me acid reflux thinking about it because there's just so many pieces. Today we are fixing Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
The absolutely much maligned. I think rarely in the breadth and scope of pop culture has there been a moment when everyone was on the same page, or most everyone. The vast majority of the fan base of pop culture was like, nope, this thing sucks.
Yes.
This is one of those times when everyone was in agreement, hands across America, this sucks, and how dare you.
Yeah.
So,
and we're fixing it today because you may or may not have already seen House of the Dragon, HBO's next outing into the Game of Thrones-averse, or the whatever they call it.
Westeros. How about you just call it Westeros?
Yeah, our next foray into Westerosi living.
Westerosi?
Yeah. And the show after that is going to be a couple just fixing up houses in Highgarden.
Highgarden. That's where I was gonna. Yep. Highgarden could use a little work.
It's their hometown, and it's like, the
Tyrells did not leave it in a good shape, and I don't think Bran probably did a great job with it either.
But yeah, it's basic. It's a fixer-upper in the Westeros universe. I still think there's a lot of options on the table in that realm. It's like, that's like one thing Marvel I think could do. And I think they're like putting their toe in the water with like She-Hulk
of
just doing a pastiche to like a reality television show, but just like in the Marvel universe.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
I think it'd be fun.
It'd be a fun side project of them doing like the Bard with no name.
Yeah.
In the Marvel, just to make it an MCU show, real easy. D-level bad guys across the board, and just little like Cheers in the Marvel universe with villains. 6 episodes, just have some fun of just these low-tier villains' point of view of what's been going on.
Absolutely.
That just for fun. There's no stakes. Maybe the bar's at risk. Maybe the police are trying to find him, but like there's no actual stakes going on.
I think Cheers as foil really works for that quite well. Like there's not all the side characters are fun and entertaining, but nothing is really that serious.
No, not at all. We're just gonna, you know what? The MCU is so large, so big right now. Let's just have some real fun There are no stakes. There's no canon. Well, there's canon involved, but it's not like you don't need to watch this show to know when Jennifer's going to show up again or where Kamala is. Oh, she switched places. Like, no, just nope. It's just D-list villains. We went way back into the annals of Marvel Comics. It was like, wow, no one's heard of this guy in a while. Let's do Big Wheel. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Marrow shows up.
What's his day-to-day like?
Yeah, she's an X-Men technically, but Game of Thrones season 8.
Oh yes,
we got lost.
Sorry,
in the sauce
Daddy
there for a
Feige.
second.
We just love the
Sorry.
MCU so much. We keep just all these pitches just keep coming out of all these. What am I supposed to do with all these pitches, Jay?
Yeah, Game of Thrones season. I know we have too many of them. Game of Thrones season 8. Because you and I watched a good amount of that actually together. This was before.
Yeah, this was before.
Yeah, you came over. You would watch it at our house with us. This is like before, like we were doing anything other than trailers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, man.
Yeah. Oh, it was 3 years ago. The last episode was 3 years ago.
And that was one of my first experiences with like angry at content, Adam. Because we had never seen those new Star Warses together because I knew how that was going to go. And I just was like...
Well, I purposely watched the last two movies alone.
Yeah, you needed to go on your own personal journey with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. And I will cede that to you. And I won't take your own private rage moment. But like this was like... honest to God, like thinking back and doing all this research for season 8 and like seeing like the scope of the full season... I don't disagree with a lot of the choices in like the first 2/3 of the season.
Wow, okay.
It's just they landed the plane so unsuccessfully.
They crashed inside of a mountain, Jay.
Yeah, that it negated the entire season for me.
The entire show. They crashed the dragons into the side of a mountain and killed the entire show.
Have there been any finales of a show that like to the degree at which, let's be real, if season 8 was a crowd pleaser and everyone was like super into the
greatest
finale,
thing of all time,
we'd have a theme park by now.
Oh, sure.
It would be at least in. It would be in a.
They would have
theme park.
demolished the Harry Potter land at Universal and erected King's Landing,
and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would have loved it. Be like, get out of here, Harry Potter!
Get out of here, wizards!
Get out of here, you scamps!
The Lord of Lights walking through. Shame,
Oh,
shame,
man,
Miss Granger, shame.
I paid extra for the shame package.
I wanted to be marched through King's Landing naked, being yelled at by a bunch of tourists.
Yeah, man, it's great. Shame.
But before we get there, Jay,
Okay,
we're a little too far afield at the moment.
What do you mean?
Well, we've launched into the thing.
I agree with you. I'm doing a bit.
Oh, were you doing a bit?
I'm doing a bit.
It seemed like
Remember how this is a funny show and we do bits sometimes?
This is Jay. We're dead serious all the time here.
Yeah, this is real serious. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you how you were doing.
Oh, how I'm doing? Oh man, I feel like crap, dude. Like I'm not okay. We went over to producer Brian's house last weekend because he had it's a great theme for a party because he got married last month.
Congratulations.
Or 2 months ago.
Sure.
And he had a lot of extra booze left over from his wedding at his house, and he was like, I need to get this out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a post-wedding come drink all the rest of our wedding booze party.
That's a good excuse for a party.
A great party idea.
Mm-hmm.
We just went a little too hard, and I feel like I have been hungover for an entire week.
Oh my God.
It's been terrible. To the point where I've been entering that like little hypochondriac level of like, oh, maybe I'm just dying. And I know that's not look, let's put it this way. Did I spend a lot of this morning on WebMD? On WebMD, and did I maybe like get to the point where I was like, oh well, my liver's just done. Like I am aware that this is not my. Have you ever done this?
No.
No. You're gonna get that way when your body inevitably starts to relent to time. Now, granted, like you keep your body in like a crystal case.
I try.
You keep your body. Your body is in it has the little like it's like the rose from Beauty and the Beast. You have like the little like glass topper on top of it, and you just are like, yes.
We know that crystal coffin that Superman goes into in Superman 2, the original Superman 2,
Sure.
when he fights Zod and everyone
Yes.
loses his powers. That's where I sleep every night.
Oh, okay.
Manny gets the king size bed. I get into the crystal coffin, standing in the corner. It's like, the lights are on out here while he was safe in there. A little Superman 2 reference.
I hate
Nobody? Nobody?
No, I
high five.
I guess
High
good-
five? Superman 2.
I guess
Dark-
I'll high five you. It's
Yeah.
more that I'm just like,
Superman 2.
yeah, I bet you did. I bet you do. If you could, you would.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why not? Looks like fun.
But other than that, like, I'm doing great. Like, streams have been off the chain lately, which has been really fun. The Peaches have been. We just have a really fun community, and they're just great. We had a really great week of streams, and so I'm happy with all of that. Like, life's good.
So your professional life's okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Professional life.
I need a good night's sleep so bad. So bad.
Well, the temperature is getting cooler at night.
Yeah, that's
Not by a whole lot, but a little bit. So it's making it a little
we're
easier
not
to
sweating to death in here anymore.
Not
Which
anymore.
is nice.
We're listening a little bit today, but it could be way worse.
But how are you? How are you doing?
I'm actually doing really good.
Okay.
I have been.
You came in with really you came in with enough positive energy that even before we started recording, I was like, you need to chill out because I am not here with you right now. I was like, I really appreciate what you're trying to do, but I feel like crap and I'm gonna kill you.
I know.
I'm a very positive person.
You
but if
are.
I don't feel
but
well.
there are some times just like, hey, listen, get that positivity right out of here.
Get at it. Like I appreciate.
I'm not in the market for
I
that
will
right
say
now.
the radiating glow is enough.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you know what I mean?
It's a passive ability right
Yeah,
now. I don't need an active spell right now.
You don't.
No
yeah.
cantrips, no
You-
nothing.
The
just,
aura
yeah,
is sufficient.
Just stay within 5 feet of me,
Just
Jay.
5 feet.
Yes.
That's fine.
What are you, like a fucking nerd or something? Nice.
Nice.
I'm doing great because the machine is working again. She-Hulk was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was great. We had a great video. It was a lot of fun. People liked it. Some people didn't like it very much, but a lot of people did like it. And we kind of called attention to the podcast in that video,
Yeah.
and that seemed to work. So like we have a little bit of corporate synergy going on here with like we're
Yeah,
doing
it's
this
great.
project. Hey, you guys know about this thing? You'd probably really like this, and like, oh yeah, maybe I would like this. So like it's nice to be back on the ball because we haven't really been on the ball the past. Well, we've been on a different ball the past month.
I was like, people were like, man, we haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, if you wanted to, you could.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like that's been the strategy with all of the streams and all of the other content and stuff. Is that like, and it takes everything in me not to like comment in a snarky way. And people are like, oh man, you guys are back. I'm like, we never went anywhere. We
Yep.
never went anywhere.
We told you where we were.
we
We tell
told
you
you.
where we are every episode.
It's arguably maybe a bit much.
We could have gone further away.
Yeah.
We could have actually hidden from you.
We're away. Yeah. If anything, the comments is like, we get it. You're doing a podcast. Like, but please, please,
These are so much fun. Join
please
us.
listen / watch to the podcast. Please come to groundwork. Please come to my streams. I'm playing Kingdom Hearts with Goofy and Dono. Please.
But yeah, I was streaming. We have a time in the schedule now where I can stream on Mondays, and I played the Untitled Goose Game this week.
That was really fun.
It's a lot of fun because
Yeah.
it's this very simple, just fun, silly, no stakes puzzle game.
Yeah.
Which is great. I had a great time with the Peaches. And the streamings were. It's just like things are great. Things are moving again.
I would
Cobra Kai's in
agree.
a couple weeks. It's like this is a lot of fun. We're back to the thing. We're doing things, making things happen,
Yeah.
and it's moving in the proper direction. Up, not down, by the way.
Oh,
Down is not proper. In this, we want to keep going up
I'm aware of that.
to the moon, Jay.
Did you think you needed to clarify that to me?
I just wanted to make sure people know what direction we were going.
Yeah. Okay.
To the moon,
I see.
Bitcoin to the moon.
I feel like you and I have really switched energies today. normally you're the one that's a little bit snarkier, and I'm the one that's like coming in a little bit like happy-go-lucky. But I feel like this is a very different vibe today.
Well, editor Adam got to edit yesterday, and so I like putting puzzles together. Though it did take me like, how do I edit a reaction? Wait a second.
That's the difference between you and me.
Just
You were
wait
like,
till I do
ooh, I
it."
get to do it, and me, I'm like, ugh, I have to do it. Ugh.
So I'm doing great.
That's awesome, man.
I've
glad
also
to
been
hear
playing
it.
a lot of Horizon Forbidden West, and that game is
I
just
haven't
absolutely
even touched
amazing.
it
So
yet.
it is that's just a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
so
Great,
I'm doing
dude.
great. I'm doing great.
All right. Well, Game of Thrones.
Let's fix Westeros. I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
Danny couldn't do it, so we could.
Yeah, man. We've spent the past like week like thinking about this season, and it's like the kind of thing where like a lot of times Kimberly has been like, "Hey, where'd you go? Like, you're not here right now." And I was like, we're trying to fix Game of Thrones." And I was like, there's a lot of moving pieces. And she was like, "You don't look like you're happy where you've been." And I was like, yes, because the finale really was very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to
I don't want to revisit those feels.
I guess before we like delve into this season, do we want to explain like our process for this?
Yes, because this is the first time we're actually doing something way grander than just a movie.
Just a movie.
So
yeah.
here's what we did. I believe there were 6 episodes for season 8.
Yes.
So basically, we are not going to go like fix each individual episode.
No.
We are going to do this in a grand scale type of thing. We're just going to tell the story of season
Yes.
8. Now, the original plan was we were going to tag team this because this was such a big story.
Yeah.
We were going to figure out what the plot points were. It's like, okay, let's discuss these plot points. We would each come up with a different fix for it, and then we just pick one and meld the story together. But once Brian and I kind of narrowed it down and be like, hey, let's just, here are the 5 plot points that like really dominate the season.
Yeah.
And here are the, like, what is it, like 10... I have 17 characters, and some of them are like secondary characters. Of like, let's discuss where they started the season or where they ended the season. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? This is way more manageable than just like this grand tapestry of all the sub stories and like whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, like Melisandre does a thing. Like, no, she's not a part. Like, it's just, you know what? We're just gonna keep it concise. We're gonna narrow this thing down, and it became a lot more manageable to be like, hey, this is how my story would go for season 8, and then Jay's gonna take his as well.
Yeah.
So. It went from
We're
like,
not going to cover every character.
No.
We are not going to cover, like, there are going to be a lot of loose ends that we could tie up at a different time, but this is a little bit more grand sweeping.
Yes.
So if you're going to hop in the comments being like, what about this person? Thank you for the engagement. A.
Yes.
But if we're missing some stuff here and there, that's kind of the plan.
Yeah, we're not getting every character.
This would be an 8-hour podcast. And as I'm sure some of you would love to listen to that much podcast, I don't want to do that much podcast.
Yes, it's a lot. That is a lot. And I actually, like, back in the day after the season ended 3 years ago, and those videos started coming out of like, this is everything wrong with Game of Thrones season 8, and like, hey,
Forgive me.
here's how you fix season 8. Like, there was a lot of those videos that came out afterwards, in like a year after or so. I watched all of those, well, a lot of them, because story structure, fixing stories, I love that stuff, hence the podcast.
Yeah.
But the idea that I had for this, I've watched a lot of these videos, I've never seen this touched by anybody.
Okay.
But it's also been 3 years, so like I've forgotten most of the stuff that happened in there, thank God, just because it was like the big thing, like, oh yeah, Danny goes mad and kills everybody, and I was like, yeah, that sucked, still sucks.
What was the last straw?
Sucks.
I feel like everyone has a different last straw of season 8. What was your last straw?
The second to last straw was the battle at Winterfell, because that was ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous.
I don't...
Start to finish, the whole thing was dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean dumb from a strategic standpoint.
Yes.
You don't fight at night. B, you don't send all your Dothraki horsemen, weapons of flame, awesome, charging into the darkness to build up the ranks of the undead. You just gave them another, 7,000 troops?
Yeah.
What? Are you dumb?
Uh-huh.
But then at the end of it, all of our main characters were fine. There was like Sam was pinned against a wall under 3 or 4 levels deep of undead, and he's just like, fine.
Yeah.
Like, the plot armor on all the main characters was absolutely ridiculous for that battle, to the point where, like, and I love sieges. I love Helm's Deep is one of the best things that ever put to film. But like, this was ridiculous. It was a farce of what should have happened.
Yeah.
So that was like, I know, meh, meh, meh. And then 2 episodes later, and then it's like, oh, no, Danny just burns all of King's. Yep, I'm done.
For me,
Yeah, I'm done.
It wasn't the burning of King's Landing. I will say this. I think Danny burning King's Landing, it's much like how Rey was a Palpatine. Spoilers. If they did anything overt to earn that choice, it's an incredible choice.
Oh, sure. But
it came out of nowhere. Going back through that season, like I can see the little bits of where they were trying to, but they're very small,
tiny little,
very subtle. It's the kind of thing where I'm like, there needed to be a couple, like, some outbursts.
Well, to jump on that point real quick, after I watched after we got done last week doing the Incredible Hulk episode, I went home and looked at the whiteboard and I was like, Game of Thrones season 8. Oh boy, I gotta start researching that immediately. Maybe gotta find a video for everybody to refresh ourselves. And lucky I found one that was like only half an hour. They'd be like, hey, here's everything that happened in half an hour. Great. Easy. I watched it. It was like, oh yeah, this isn't as bad. There's a lot of cool things. There was a lot of neat things that happened in the season, but just it all ultimately didn't work out that well.
Yeah.
But because I watched that video, I started getting surfaced some other Game of Thrones videos on my homepage. And one of the videos that was surfaced for me was how to write madness, juxtaposing Jinx from Arcane with Dany from season 8. Because Arcane is one of the best things we've seen in a very, very long time. Still one of the best show of the past year.
Low key.
And it's because of Jinx's journey into straight madness.
She's trying to make the right choices. It's just not. It keeps blowing up in her face to a point where she's like, I don't know what right or wrong is anymore.
I don't even know what world I'm in anymore. It was a very good video that really this is the 10 points of how to, when a character goes from mostly sane to madness. I was like, here's what this was Jinx's journey. I was like, oh yeah, this is yep. And here was Dany's journey, missing giant key elements of how the story goes of a character going from point A to madness.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's why it didn't make sense, because those things weren't there, and clearly, this didn't make any character sense. So, I mean, it's a bold choice. I didn't want to see. I mean, we knew Jinx was going to go that way from the beginning, even though Jay and I never watched or played League of Legends, but like we knew what the character was from a general nerd standpoint. But like Dany was still like in the air. She could have gone either way, and they chose violence, Jay.
But yeah,
it didn't make any sense.
Returning to the original question, my last straw was when they made Bran king. And when Bran, they were like, oh, now you're king. And he's like, well, why do you think I came all this way? What does that even mean?
Jay, he's got the best story.
In what way?
Well, you see, chapter 1, Bran likes to climb.
Okay, no.
And then he accidentally typed into Pornhub. And saw something he shouldn't have.
Boo. No, and that actually goes into my fix, is that the fact that we're never explained what any of this stuff actually is.
Oh, the Three-Eyed Raven?
Any of it.
Yeah.
It's just, there are things that exist, and we're as an audience, and I know there's people like, you don't have to have everything explained to you. I'm like, no, these are big. Some things.
Well, you got to explain your magic system.
Yes, and they never do.
They never did. Melisandre's pulling out stuff left and right for the Lord of the Light, and it's like,
And in my mind, I'm like, well, if magic's real, then what are we all doing here with sword? I don't know.
Yeah, I was well checked out. Well before the last episode.
Yeah.
Even though
you
was
were checked out after episode 2, because I remember you watched that at our house and you were like, "Oh, this is bad. This sucks and I hate it." And I was like kind of mad at you because I was like, "Hey, he's just like killing the mood." And then I was like, "No, this actually isn't very good."
So I think that was our personal takes on it. I think it's a good opportunity. Hey, Brian, I know there aren't like a whole lot of like, movie returns and stuff like this for this one. But how about you give us like the
The fallout,
the impact, the social impact that happened with season 8 of Game of Thrones?
Come on, Brian, roll that beautiful bean fun fact footage.
Well, these facts aren't that fun. This one's more sad.
Well, roll them anyways.
Thank you, gentlemen. Today we are talking about Season 8 of Game of Thrones. It consisted of 6 episodes that ran from April to May of 2019 and averaged 15.31 million viewers per episode. In spite of only having a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes, where all the other Game of Thrones seasons have over 90%, it still won 12 Emmy Awards, including Best Drama Series, as well as Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series for Peter Dinklage. So yes, fans were pissed, the actors didn't seem too thrilled in interviews, and Change.org actually had a petition going to replace the writers with competent writers and redo all of Season 8. And before we head back to the gentleman, I want to say, Adam, I was totally with you on the Superman 2 references, and thank you for the wedding wishes. Jay, sorry for the hangover, but we barely made a dent in all of that beer and alcohol. Okay, now back to you, gentlemen.
Boy, that was pretty sad, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Ooh,
Did you need to cry the whole time? What was that about?
good job playing the tiniest violin while also giving those fun, sad bean facts.
Yeah, man.
You're very talented, Brian.
Very talented. Very talented.
People, here's the thing. Not only, and I think this might be I forgot to say this earlier. I think it might be one of the few times in all pop culture history that not only did the fans of a project know in their heart of hearts that this whole thing sucked, but so did the cast. Did you see any interviews with the cast leading up to season 8? They were like, especially Emilia Clarke, there was like, it was palpable, like, I'm contractually obligated to say good things about this, and I'm doing my best. But there is only so much I can do. This is really bad. We're all in trouble. Thankfully, the stink does not stick to anybody in the cast. It's not their fault. They did a job. Thank God it didn't stick to them. But like, it stuck to the writers and the producers pretty hard because they got fired from a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, yeah, and it was like, I don't know. I mean, we've talked this to death at this point, but like, very few properties have negated their popularity so hard into that, like, it was the thing that literally everyone had in common that they watched Game of Thrones, and now nobody talks about it ever. Like, nobody talks about it.
And George R.R. Martin is still like, hey, I'm almost done with the Winds of Winter, and there's the sentiment like, hey, guess what? Nobody cares, George.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. It took too long, and nobody cares. And people are like, I'll you know what? I'll read the books if they ever get done. If he writes the last one, then I'll read them.
Well, you and I have a standing bet.
What?
We have $100 bet that he won't release a book until after he's dead.
I don't think he's going to finish it.
He's not going to.
He's not going to, which sucks.
Because those books are very good.
The books are, well, I mean, the show was really good until they got out past their skis.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we don't know what we're
That's
doing.
the best way to...
I guess he's gonna, what was it? Stannis is gonna just attack in the winter. No. Ramsay Bolton wins for no reason.
Yeah.
Rickon's just gonna run in a straight line.
All that Bolton stuff, I think, is where it all starts to kind of fall
John's
apart.
just gonna rush out there like an idiot. And the Battle of the Bastards? Like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest plan I've ever seen. John, you deserve to get crunched between everybody. That was a cool shot, but like,
It was a cool shot.
This is really dumb.
Yeah.
This is super dumb. I hate it. Looks like I hate it. Look at now. I'm hurting. Stupid John. This is why you sing and I don't.
I know.
Thanks for letting me get out over my skis, Jay.
Oh, yeah. No, I was like, he's the living embodiment of what happened to Game of Thrones right now.
Mogul. Oh!
Shall we fix Game of Thrones Season 8?
I desperately have been looking forward to this.
I have not.
I know.
I was like, I feel like we're going to piss off a lot of people, and that's fine. But I don't care.
Oh, nope, guys, my fix for this, I am a man of the people.
Okay.
I feel I'm much like Bane, Jay.
Hit me.
I give the story back to you,
Ah, yes.
the people.
Ah, yes.
Or I'm gonna make this is gonna be people pleasing. I'm gonna give you everything damn well wanted, because there was like a lot of things people wanted,
Yeah.
and they got none of it. They got none of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Clegan Bowl! Like they fought on the stairs and then jumped in a fire. That sucked. It sucked.
The Game Bowl I think was actually, I was fine with it. I think that's one of the storylines. Like what else were they gonna do?
It didn't need to happen, but
what
also
are they gonna
it's
do
just
other
like,
than fight?
I know they were gonna fight, but just like it was over pretty quickly. I'm on the stairs. Fire!
I don't know.
Ah!
I also just don't care as much about the Hound and the Mountain as much as other people do.
Yeah.
People are like, "Can you believe that?" I'm like, "Yeah, they were gonna fight. Like, what else was it gonna be? These weren't two well-spoken characters. There wasn't gonna be a good conversation about it.
One was undead.
One was technically just a walking corpse. So, all right,
Okay.
You gotta fix this.
Okay, here's my fix. So we start right where we started for the beginning of season 8. Like the beginning was fine, right? Dany
Yes.
rolls into Winterfell, Jaime rolls into Winterfell, and there's like, oh, I'm really sorry for what I did, but hey, guess what? Cersei's not coming with any reinforcements. She straight up lied to everybody.
Yeah,
I like all the character stuff that happened at Winterfell in the first episode. The people meeting each other, talking and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine.
yeah,
But the decision needs to be made there. It's like, without those reinforcements from the south, we're boned.
yeah,
We need to get the heck out of here. We don't have enough.
yeah.
Because like then the wildlings can come down, like the group of wildlings that John knew, like, hey, they're behind. They just crossed the wall. Like, we gotta go. Like, we're in trouble. Are we fighting or are we going? Everyone's like, we can't. We just can't do it here.
No.
If we stay at Winterfell,
We die.
we're dead, and then everything else is
Everyone
ruined.
else is dead.
This needs to be the concerted effort of everybody, because that's what the show was supposed to be. What it felt like was supposed to be about. The first scene of both the books and the show was the few guys from the Night Watch past the wall getting murdered by those zombies and waking
Yeah.
up with blue eyes. Like the walkers were the imminent threat that was supposed to be. That was the
whole
big
slogan
bad.
of the show was "Winter is coming."
Right.
Yeah,
And so winter being dealt with first, and then the political stuff second, was bull. It needed to be switched. The political stuff needed to be dealt with first, and then deal with the winter, because that was the big thing.
I see.
Getting everyone on the same page to deal with all the winter that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So they make the decision to abandon Winterfell. We got to get out of here. This is indefensible. We don't have enough troops. Even with all this stuff, we got to get out of here.
Okay.
But we need to deal with Cersei, because like she lied. She's not coming. Even though like a lot of people saw in the previous season, like we brought them a walker
we
at the
can go to-
cost of a dragon.
We can go to King's Landing, but it's not gonna go well.
Right. Like a lot of people saw that what's going on, but Cersei made the call because she was queen. We're not doing anything. The South is staying here. So like we need to deal with Cersei. So like they have figured out a plan to abandon Winterfell and get everyone south as fast as humanly possible. Remember, they still have 2 dragons, so that will help move things along a little bit. Also the fleet. That's not just going to sail straight in to King's Landing. They're just going to move everybody south.
Well, the fleet they're not on the same side though. The fleet is
No, the Iron Fleet was no. They had a fleet of their own from like Esseros.
from all of
Yeah.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. So the plan is that Dany, John, Jaime, and Arya and the Hound all head towards King's Landing. Everyone else is moving. Everyone will walk/sail down south. Maybe get past the twins or whatever. Just like moving
Yeah.
south. But the forward movement.
I like the idea of them all trying to gain refuge at the House Frey, and
That's it. The phrase. Yes.
and going in and being like, everyone's dead.
Everyone-
Why is everyone?
dead and rotting here? That's
Huh.
so weird.
Huh? Arya just like, I don't know.
There's just faces
That's-
stapled to the wall.
That's weird.
That's weird.
Oh man.
So the plan is they're going to try diplomacy one more time.
Okay.
Because that's what happened. Jaime, breaks free from this, goes down to try to talk to Cersei one more time. And
Yeah.
be like, you need to get gotta get out of here. There's a dragon coming. But this time it's going to be like, listen, we abandoned the north. The dead are being raised as they go. We have to come together to fight this
Yeah.
thing. So, at least that's the plan. So they get off. Arya, Jaime, the Hound, and Dany and John are just like on the dragons. They're just chilling outside the city, away. So Jaime sneaks in with Arya and the Hound.
Okay.
They go their separate ways. And then Jaime goes, kind of like what he did in the show. He gets captured and like taken to Cersei, and he's like, the North's coming.
Yeah.
The North's coming here. Like, we don't have a choice. He tries one last time to get his sister on his side. Like, everyone's going to die if we don't. We need your help.
Yeah.
And she's going to, once again, refuses because she's a megalomaniac and I want power and blah, 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 blah. She says no. And
she doesn't relinquish in any way.
And orders the mountain to kill him.
Oh.
But in the room is the mountain, clearly, because this is his bodyguard. And
Yeah.
her hand, that guy who's like a maester, the evil maester. Yes, that guy.
Yes, that guy.
Yes.
That's all I need to say. Oh, I like science.
Evil science.
Ooh. It's
So-
poetry in motion.
It's the only people in the room. So the mountain's about to kill Jaime, and then whatever that guy's name is steps up behind Cersei and stabs her in the back.
Oh.
And then whispers into her ear, "You are my last name."
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And then Arya takes off his face, and Cersei dies in Jaime's arms. Because Arya needed to kill Cersei for vengeance.
No, I actually agree. I appreciate what they like, the message that they had when he finally was like, you don't. I appreciate what they were going for. That was one moment that I think worked when he was like, you have this list. You don't have to finish it. Like this, you're in control. Like I thought that was good, but I think she can also learn a lesson and also kill Cersei.
She learned a lot of lessons. The last person she killed in the show were the Freys. And then those skills were basically gone.
Well, she killed the Night King. Come
Sure,
on now. Come on. You know.
Yeah, she did. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't cool. Arya's a badass, but she shouldn't have been the one to kill the Night King.
In no way.
She had there was
no
no
way.
story context there. There was no conflict there. It was like, oh, I'm meeting you for the first time. I'm going to kill you.
It's just convenient.
It's just convenient. Oh, switcheroo. Haha, expectations. She kills Arya. The last name on her list. The gun is happy. It's so good. But the mountain's there, and it's like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm going to kill Jaime anyways. Well, Jaime and Arya can't take the mountain. That's why the Hound was there. He snuck in somehow, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And now we have Clegane Bowl, but like it's like kind of it's like 1.2 against 1.
Yes.
And they actually have a big fight, and he wins. Well, the Hound wins. Hooray!
Oh, wow, okay.
Cersei is deposed. They get word back to Dany.
She's murdered.
Because she's murdered. So now, like, oh, what's going to happen? The government's been decapitated.
Now there's a power vacuum.
Right? In flies the dragon. We do not have time for this. The dead are coming. I will burn this city to the ground.
Yeah.
You all the Lannisters just take the knee. We don't have time for this. We can settle this later. Seriously. And Jaime can be like, we can settle this later. But like right now, we need everybody on the same team.
Yeah.
Because the winter's coming. It's going to kill all of us unless we all rally. So, meanwhile, Theon, remember Theon? Theon frees his sister, and then he gets tasked with taking out Viserion, or whatever, his uncle guy that was yeah. They go and kill him on the ships to get the Iron Fleet.
Man, in my fix, the extent to which we kill that dude so fast, like, that whole fight between him and Jaime, I was like, no one cares.
No one cares about you.
No one cares about this guy.
Nope.
This guy, I don't know if he's a cousin of the director or something, but they really made this character such a big deal, and no one cares.
He's a big character in the book, but no one cares about this guy in the show.
Wow. Like, burn the boats and be done with it.
Theon and his sister kill this guy.
Yeah,
and they
great.
take over the Iron Fleet.
Rad.
So everyone move. The North shows up because there's I'm gonna say there's a little bit more time because it took them a while to get to march down and sail down, and the dead are shambling. They have a dragon, but for the most part they're shambling down, so it's taking them a little bit longer to get to King's Landing, so the North can get there just a little bit faster. But meanwhile, people have been the important people have been ferrying it in. So we need to come up with a battle plan.
Yeah.
So Sam and Tyrion are going to be smart about this. Like, hey, okay, listen. And especially Sam, because he's a maester at this point, and he's learned a bunch of stuff when he was at the maester school. Okay, listen, we're fighting the dead, right? So what we need to do is make sure we have as few casualties as possible. We got to figure out a way to fight these guys without many of our guys dying.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out a way to fight in retreat. What's the one thing we have that these guys don't? Well, we can't fight them on the open field, because a lot of people, there's nothing we can't hem them in. But what if we draw them into the city?
Oh.
That's a great idea. So they come up, they start home aloning the city.
Because they can. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
they start pulling everybody out of the city.
At least like the outskirts.
Yeah, everyone. They try to clear the city of and just the army inside.
Bring
So
everyone into the keep.
no, they're getting out of the city.
Oh,
they're sending them south, and they're getting on the Iron Fleet because this was getting the fleet was really important because they need to get people out of there.
Yes.
And so they're just sailing them this like not too far, but just
They could
just
go. They
just
could
away.
They could go to Dorne.
Yeah, just everyone, all the civilians, get out of here. We need the entire city to fight the Horde.
Yeah.
So, Varys is of course still alive because Dany's not going super mad, so he's like coming up like, I'm going to use all my sparrows or whatever they're called in this one, and like little birds like he starts sending out stuff. Hey, this is going on to Dorne, to the Tullys, to like everyone who's still alive in the south. Like, hey, the High Garden, hey, plans happening. Get here.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of shows up. Not everyone. I'm sorry. Everyone shows up at King's Landing, and this is like the North shows up, booby trap everything. Meanwhile, they're like, how do we get the Night King in here? How do we draw the army in? And Bran then goes like, okay, so here's the 411. This is why I'm going to go to the Godswood. Just like the same plans from the show, but like more explanation to why we're tied together and why he wants to kill me.
Yeah.
That gets spelled out. So like, oh, that's a really good reason. Okay, great. Bran, you'll be in the Godswoods, and everyone will be on the Dany and John will be on the dragons, and we're gonna fight and retreat and try to draw these guys into the city. Fantastic. The bad guy, the undead show up. Everyone's arrayed in front of the city. They start, ballistas and arrows and fire and all.
Yeah,
lots of cool stuff.
Whee!
But like they do a couple of like the Riders of Rohan, right? They kind of flank him and like kind of run past him and like try to like on the horses and try to like don't just run in to die, but like try to harry them a little bit. Like, yeah, oh no, we're scared. Everyone get back to the city. Oh no, run, the dead's here. Ah! So everyone starts like just like, oh, retreat. Ah! And like kind of like the Patriot, right? Remember when everyone crests the hill and he's like, do the thing, and it's like, the British are over. Same thing. Everyone runs in the city, and then the Night King's like, grr, and so the dead start chasing them into the city, which is exactly what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So then we have
paint cans and micro machines outside of windows.
The doorknobs are heated up really hot.
Doorknobs.
Mm-hmm. So once the dead start moving in and the Night King comes on his dragon to fight the two normal dragons, the same fight can basically happen at this point. We see a select small force of like Brienne, Jaime, the Hound, and a couple other Jorah. He's still alive at this point. Like go off and sneak all the way around the army to take out to fight the lieutenants of the Night King. Yeah, because remember there's that head like
you gotta have some mini bosses,
right?
If this is a big boss fight, we gotta
take out the mini bosses.
Yeah, that's
and I think,
good.
And like Jorah can die at this point if we wanted to. Jaime can get hurt. Like they didn't.
We're gonna have to lose some people to. Yeah, that's gonna...
Brienne of course survives. Jaime of course survives, but he's hurt. But like because he's only got one hand. But these lieutenants are pretty cool. But like there's a cool little fight scene between some of our secondary badass characters and these lieutenants for the Night King, right?
Yeah. So
they take him out. Hooray! The dragon fight's going overhead or whatever, and Dany and John lead him over the ocean, where a lot of the army is then piling through the city, running through the city to the boats.
Yeah.
To get on the boats to get the heck out of Dodge. So the fights are happening, and it's like, oh no, look, those giant ballistas that actually killed the dragons and the Thurs. They're actually going to use that, but for the undead dragon this time.
Yeah.
Because...
that really bummed everybody out when they. I understand they were trying to make a kill your darlings choice, but I was like,
it's just dumb.
Well, if those ballista were gonna kill a dragon so effectively, and then in the next episode just be like complete pushovers, it just didn't. It didn't. I was like, you just killed one of our sweet dragon babies for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
And the other one got one-shotted earlier. This sucks. So they take out the undead dragon. Night King falls, but somewhere in the city. Of course, he's fine. So, but he knows Bran. He can feel Bran because he's trying to find him. He's in the Godswood. So the plan is working. So John's like, okay, I'm going to go to Bran. Great. Dany's like, I know what the plan is. Great. So at this point, with all the lieutenants gone and the dead still kind of like charging into the city, and the Night King focused on Bran, the people that the undead outside the city start to kind of like stop not paying attention too much anymore to like orders, and they start kind of like maybe just go around and this is when we have the Avengers Endgame moment when everybody else from the show we've ever seen in the past 7 seasons shows up. The Tully show up. The Snakes who are still alive from Dorne show up. Bran and Highgarden show up. Like everybody. Bring it, everybody. The whole everybody shows up.
Everyone
to contain the dead against the city walls and to push them into the city.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a little moment to shine. They're chopping through, of course, we're losing some people, but not a whole lot because these people are.
You gotta kill people along the way to make it
to have a
raise
little
the
menace,
stakes.
and inside the city, people are, it's not easy running through the city trying to, harry these guys, and some people are getting overwhelmed and stuff like that. But we are losing people, but not as many people as that died at Winterfell. I think 100 survived Winterfell.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. So, Night King shows up at the Godwoods. There's Bran sitting there. And then they have a mental they talk to each other. They actually discuss stuff, the past. Finally, the time
what
has come.
they actually are and what's actually going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Context.
What's the three-eyed raven? It's just a spooky guy in a tree.
Context.
How
for
does
this
it have
fight.
effect? How does it affect anything? It doesn't. Okay.
I just know all the things because I see through the trees.
He wanted to be king.
I'm part druid. Apparently.
Why do you think he came all this way? What does that mean, show? What does that mean?
John shows up on a dragon. John shows up to fight the Night King. Haha, the trap has been sprung. I'm here to kill you because he's got the sword. Can kill the thing.
Yeah.
They fight. John does not do great because Night King is pretty good at fighting.
Yeah.
So it looks like, things are going to go wrong. And that's when Dany shows up and has the orders Drogon to take Bran and John away. And John's like, that's not part of the plan. What are you doing? No! Don't leave me! McQueen!
Yeah.
McQueen.
Yeah.
So then Dany squares up against the Night King by herself in the Godswoods. I'm assuming it's the Godswoods. Was that what it was called?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Anyways, Dany squares up with the Night King and says, I wrote this part down.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Oh, did you write dialogue?
Just this part. Just want to make sure. You probably don't know who I am. I'm Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, first to rename Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the Breaker of Chains, and total badass moment. The camera gets all close. The Unburnt, and lights a wick that's right by the God's tree, and we just see the spark travel up the tree, down the tree, underground, to a giant collection of wildfire.
Oh yeah.
Because that has been played. The rule of 3 was used in the show a couple times. They blew up wildfire twice, and the second season
also burned Dany twice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad that you covered this as well because that is one theme that I'm actually covering it as well, but in a different direction. But that's one thing. They have set up the destiny of Dany so specifically to that. It felt so that's where this season felt like one of the most betrayed things. I was like, you set us up to love her so much. Mm-hmm. Why would you?
She had some dark moments, but she was always kind of on the track.
She
of
was on the mend,
doing the right thing. She was saving people. She was freeing slaves.
There was no hope in the ending of the season 8 that we got. There was no. There was no woo.
It was all
like, oh, okay.
You just see John's back, just going into the north like this.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, keep going.
Wildfire explodes, and all of King's Landing goes up.
All of it?
The whole city. Because, they had wildfire. They showed it a couple times. She took out the sept with it. So, and time has passed. I'm assuming there's probably more. If not, they made it. Whatever. The whole city goes up in wildfire. The whole
So King's
city.
Landing is just done.
King's Landing is laid to waste. It is basically nuked.
But they evacuated the city, so it's
exactly.
But it's more about the symbol.
Because we see the last soldiers running through. It's really epic.
Yeah.
It's boom, 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 boom. Everyone's just getting to the boats in time. Couple of jumping. The plan basically worked. Most of the dead were in the city. They're all just wiped through from the fire. So it's shots from the ocean, shots from the outside, shots from John on the dragon, and Bran just sitting there, this is what So like it's super awesome. The fire dies down. There's smoke. You see Dany, because Dany immune to fire. She's probably still immune to wildfire. So like she's basically fine. Maybe a little naked, but she's fine. Maybe she covered up some stuff, like because she's fine. And so like Drogon comes back down, drops out Bran and John, and Jen rushes to her, and I was like, oh my god, you did it, blah 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 blah. This is fantastic. Oh, I love you, McQueen. It's so awesome. The thing is, at this point in this version of the events, we don't know that the Night King's also immune to fire. Because remember, at the Battle of Winterfell, she roasts him with Drogon, and he's just like, yeah, and?
Yeah.
We never saw that happen, so no one knows that he's immune to fire. So he also, from the smoke, like an anime, just from the smoke, comes out, shanks Dany.
Oh, no.
And Dany's like, no! But, I mean, he's still like, he is immune to fire, but also it was a massive FU explosion.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not great, but he's also, like, kind of okay. But he's not, like, burned. So Jon and the Night King, once again, this is the fight. Jon's got a chance because he's kind of at the same level now, and it's basically Star Wars
and
fight.
He has Valyrian steel.
Yes, and so Jon finally kills the Night King in an awesome, badass sword fight, like right there on the rubble over Dany's dying body on the rubble of King's Landing.
Yeah,
Bran just sitting there like, I knew this would happen.
Why do you think I came all this way?
The trees told me. Heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Jon kills the Night King. It's awesome. The rest of the dead who are outside the city kind of claps.
Yeah.
Hooray! But King's Landing is no more. Most of our people, we all had some losses, but for the most part, like, hey, we did it, everybody. We all came together.
Hooray!
And we did it. We beat winter. The last episode then is the fallout, which is basically a lot of the same things that happened in the last episode. But this time, when we get to a King's Moot here, like, we need to figure out who's going to be in charge of this as we're starting to slowly rebuild King's Landing, which has now been renamed Queen's Landing.
Oh.
Because Dany saved the entire world. Yeah. She broke the chain. She changed the gears. She did everything. She changed the muffler, got the belts fixed, changed the oil.
Hey, you're gonna be running real good, baby. It's probably gonna take the weekend, but we're gonna get this thing up and running.
She saved the world of the living.
Yeah.
And it was tragic that she died, and of course there was a moment between her and Jon, of course, whatever. And again, Jon does not know what his parentage is at this point. So none of that drama. It's just he loves her. Sam didn't tell him yet. He doesn't know yet. It's just really sad. Dany died a hero.
Okay.
Saved everybody. The dragons are sad, but like she saved everybody. Drogon can go off for their body again, whatever. But Jon still has his dragon. So they're now going to start. They're going to rebuild Queen's Landing, and they're going to erect a statue for her because like she's the one that she broke the Targaryen stigma or whatever. Like she came back and
sacrificed everything.
She sacrificed everything
for this city.
Yep, and for life.
Okay.
So Jon gets chosen as the king because Sam's like, you know who he is, right? Like he's a Stark and a Targaryen. I was like, what? And like, and Jon doesn't want it. Jon still does not want to be king.
No, and that's what makes him a good king.
Which makes him the best king. So everyone asks him to do it. So, and then pretty much everyone else ends up back where they were. Like Jaime's with Brienne.
I like the idea that he decides to do it because Tyrion says like, I will be the hand if I will be the hand to the king if you are king.
The people he trusts lets him know that like we got your back. You're not doing this alone, but like you are the best suited for this. Sam's like, I'm here. I got you.
Like he's got Sam, Varys, and Tyrion that are like, hi, we're your squad, bro. Yep. You gotta put that crown on.
Team Jon, here we go.
Let's party.
Because the Iron Throne is gone. Like the whole got melted.
Yeah.
So like we have a chance to like
rebuild everything. Yeah, that's good, dude.
And then like Arya can go off and like sail for Valyria or whatever, or she can kind of be like the badass enforcer for the crown or whatever, because she's basically Batman. She's Batman, right?
Yeah, I would say more of a Nightwing
kind
of vibe. A little sneakier.
Yeah. So and then like everyone else has like a happier ending. Jaime's with Brienne, Brienne can still be in charge of the Kingsguard, and Sansa can go back to the north. That's fine. Like the Seven Kingdoms are combined. Everyone's like happy. Like we just did a thing together. Let's take this moment as we rebuild our capital, as we've renamed it after a true hero of life. And let's move together in a positive direction. Like the wall can be torn down because there's no reason for it anymore.
Yeah.
That opens up the north. and the wildlings can be, if they want to,
Yeah.
can come down and freely trade with everyone in the south. Like Winterfell's going to be hopping because like it needs to get rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's like we lost a lot of stuff, we lost a lot of characters, but like there's hope here.
Yeah.
Because we are rebuilding and we're all still alive. So that's how I fixed it.
That's pretty darn good, man. I like that a lot.
Thanks.
I think that's...
They-
Yeah.
They used wildfire twice and they never went back to it. Against the dead. How do you not use wildfire against the dead? Come on. it's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there
and
the
I
whole
think
time.
I think there really what really works there, and what the catharsis, we didn't get a chance to root for everybody. They gave us small glimpses of it, like when the little Mormont girl killed that giant. That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
But like
But then she died immediately and then came back as a
yeah, they gave us little glimpses of things, but it wasn't. We wanted that moment of, like, even Arya killing the Night King. It just didn't. It just
didn't
I
feel cool.
can't even tell you why it's wrong. I can't even tell you. But the moment it happened, I was like, oh, okay. And I shouldn't be going, oh, okay, to a show like this.
Yeah.
I should be like, oh, like it's not. And I know we have talked so much, especially in the reactor game. It's like a big thing. It's like we not to set expectations improperly, but with a game like Game of Thrones was like on the top of everyone's mind for so long.
Yeah.
That I don't think I don't think our expectations were out of whack.
This is the show that gave us the Red Wedding.
The Purple Wedding. This is a show that, like, there's so much happened on this show that, like, lit the world on fire, that it just giving us the chance to root for everyone against this external threat.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into it. My fix is much different than
Awesome.
yours.
I can't wait to hear it.
Much different than yours. The goal of my fix is to remedy the two things that bother me the most about season 8.
Okay. Which were?
Or just what needs to be remedied about the show as a whole.
Okay.
The fact that we never really understand what the Night King is really bothers me. And I am going to justify Dany's inevitable spin.
Oh, okay.
My season opens up on Winterfell. My season opens up with Winterfell with the Lannister soldiers showing up to Winterfell.
Oh.
Cersei keeps her word.
Okay.
But it's basically the people that are already there running the Lannisters through what's been going on.
Sure.
They've been led by Bran to get up there, just because I want to keep him there.
Yeah, Bran needs to be. Yeah.
But also he's kind of a wild card, so like there's but they're getting run through what's been going on in Winterfell. I also think in that opening shot, I think there's a conversation between Dany and John that she's just like, I don't really like that our dragons are part of the engineering corps now, and they're crafting dragon glass. Like they have the dragons just like blowing fire on, like they're building weapons to kill the dead.
That makes sense.
And I think
that's very good.
I like the idea that we are in media res that Winterfell has been under siege for like a month.
Whoa!
Yes.
That's cool.
Because it gave time for the Lannisters to get up there, but because they have dragon glass and because I think the Night King realizes just how far he has to go and how many people he has to defeat, he realizes that he doesn't have to push that hard.
Oh, time's on his side.
I think every night there's just like small little attacks
Skirmishes,
here and there.
yep.
It becomes apparent that's like we're doing okay, but for every one we lose, they lose 3. But for every one we lose, he gets another one.
If we don't like get the body back and burn it.
So
yeah.
like he's got so many more numbers than we do, but like he knows he has to conserve a little bit.
But he can win this battle of attrition.
He can definitely win this one, but it's been a slow. It's been a slow battle, and they're like, really, like we would have thought he would have just pushed in. Like, No,
This guy's patient.
This guy's smarter than we.
He's been
we
waiting
give him credit.
thousands of years for this.
Yeah, I think he knows exactly what he's doing. So it gets to Jaime shows up and he's like, "Oh, there's Lannisters here. Why are there Lannisters here?"
Yeah.
And so we kind of get this inner circle of all of our friends, because we have it's like Sansa and John and Dany and like all the and Jaime, all in their kind of like war room, basically like trying to figure out what to do, and it slowly becomes apparent that and this is where the Dany thing kind of the beginning of the unraveling, in that Dany is not used to this style of combat. And she is used to having dragons and having, the Unsullied. She's like, I don't know why we aren't taking the fight to them. Like, I don't know. I have the Riders of Rohan here. Man, why did I that's all I ever want to call them.
Yeah.
The Dothraki. I have the Dothraki. You said that earlier and it's stuck in my brain. Damn you.
Sorry.
Damn you.
I'm bad.
We have the Dothraki. Like, why are we waiting here? Why is this happening? Blah, blah, blah. And eventually, a couple things become apparent in these like first two episodes. Clearly there is a Lannister plot to get rid of Dany. That's why they're there.
Okay.
That's why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bronn has a conversation with Jaime and basically like kind of pulls it out of him, and he's like trying to. Jaime's behavior starts to become, these Lannister soldiers, I am a Lannister, and these men are my responsibility. And we're gonna save the world as Lannisters, and like tries to get a handle on it and starts to succeed at doing so. We see Jaime kind of come back into, he has grown as a person.
Yes, he has.
But we see him starting to come to life as a statesman. In
And
that, like, he is like a land, like, because that was the thing that always bothered me, was that like I feel like he's grown as a person, but like he is a person with a lot of authority, and he could have been a huge force for good. So I think we see him try to get a handle on this, slowly but surely, and eventually we see, like Dany, one of the knights, sends Dothraki out to fight.
She's tired of waiting.
She's tired of waiting. She's tired of it. And much similar, like, that was a stupid move. Everyone has like lost a little bit of faith in Dany and her ability to make decisions. And like even Tyrion and Viserys, is that Varys? There it is. They're just like, you shouldn't. Why did you do? Like, even they're kind of starting to be like, why would you do that?
Yeah, our plan was working.
Our plan was working.
Yeah.
Like, we have Dragonglass. Like, we can hold these guys off until we figure out a solution. After basically, like, after that happens, like, clearly, like, every night I want to make sure that we give the people what they want, and that we need to see some undead fighting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I want to give them the goods.
Sure.
But that night, there is an attack on Daenerys, from Bronn.
Oh no, Bronn!
Look, I don't need a redemption arc for him. He's always been a sellsword.
Yep.
Cersei gave him a lot of money to kill Dany, and that's what he's there to do.
Sure.
He gets he is not successful. He is killed.
Oh no!
But in the process, he kills Jorah.
Oh no!
Jorah dies defending Dany
Oh,
the
that's
way he
nice.
always wanted
always
to.
wanted to, yeah.
But Dany is now like, these people are not to be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
They took my most loyal follower.
Like
from
the
me.
most loyal. Like I kicked him out and he came back.
And then all the while in this same episode, I imagine that Sam is telling Jon that he is a Targaryen.
Okay.
I like that he knows that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, after all of that, like, assault on her life, it comes down, like, Jon tells Dany, and he's like, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want the throne. I don't want it. But it does not go well.
Of course not.
She, like, coming from that, like, it is a
1-2 punch.
slow, like, yes, it's the 1-2 punch that, like, really begins the throwdown.
John, is it John? Jay, is it the slow knife that
It's the slow knife, baby.
you don't
It's
see
the slow
coming?
knife. Okay, so it comes at, and then after all of that, we finally like the night raid it's sun goes down. There's nothing there's nothing here. We're not fighting anything right now.
Oh,
What's happening?
where'd they go?
And we just see the dragon fly over, and it's the Night King, and he's just dodging, ballista shots and all sorts of stuff. And he's like burning a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. But it's one of those things where he gets some good hits in, but then he's gone. And then I think it's Tyrion that finally is just like, that was just intel. Tomorrow night's the night. They just wanted to see.
Our
They
defenses,
just they just wanted to see what the best places were. I think they're tired of playing cat and mouse, and I think tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow night,
The lives will change. Tomorrow night.
the Night King comes.
Oh, an execution. What a sight. Tomorrow night. And I think we get to a point where Bran finally speaks up, and this is when Melisandre shows up.
Oh yeah,
eventually.
her. Yeah.
And we also get the guy that keeps resurrecting or whatever.
Yes. Yep. That guy.
And we finally it becomes clear that Melisandre and Bran have a lot to talk about, apparently.
I would think so.
And there's some plotting, and Bran comes to the council and it's like, I have a plan. You're probably not gonna like it, but it's
a plan.
It's the only thing that's gonna work.
Sure.
Night falls on this second night, and we see Melisandre building a bonfire around a tied up guy who keeps dying.
Oh no!
And-
yeah,
but-
because they've done that. Yep, they killed.
It's like
yep.
he's
Stannis'
and she was just
daughter,
like
yeah.
this. She was like, the Lord of Light continues to bring you back for this specific purpose. He's like, I know, I'm aware.
Oh no! Okay. Wow.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
man.
wow.
Oh yeah, and night falls. It's pitch black. The bonfire goes up. There's obviously it's not great.
There's a
'cause
dude
they're-
inside
they're,
of it,
They're
yeah.
burning it.
Yeah,
Man,
it smells like the bacon a little bit.
But Melisandre holds her hand to the sky, like puts her hand in the fire, and as it's charring, like the crystal around her
Yep.
necklace like cracks, and we see her like kind of melt, like in Indiana Jones.
Oh no!
Like you,
She chose
she's like, this
wrong.
is her one purpose, and it's daytime. It's day.
Whoa!
And
Like
you
it's like
see-
it goes dusk, and then
it like you see the light go out, you see the fire go up, she holds her hand up, you see the whole thing, and then it's like day.
oh,
And you see the army of the dead, all the giants and all the things they have, and then the camera pans around, and it's just Bran. And you see him say, like, in some magical voice, like,
sure.
I request a parlay with the Lord of Night. And they oblige. You know, his little, hip hop posse comes out with him. They look like a breakdance crew.
They
you know?
do, yeah,
Like,
they do,
You
yeah.
know, like if Sleep No More put on a breakdance crew, that's what they look like.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah. So they come out and they parlay, and we get a conversation between the Night King and Bran.
All right.
And we get a full explanation of what they are and why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
The Night King is like, hi, we were created as an inevitability for mankind, because once they get to a certain point, they are a danger to themselves and others. So we are an inevitable reset. We are not, there's no malice to what we are doing. We are here to set the scales even again.
All right.
And Bran's like, I understand that. Like, I was here when you were created. Or
I saw the vision of the children stabbing you and the dragon.
like, I
blasting
know
the
why
tree,
you
yeah.
were created,
Mhm.
but you were created just before I was created. The three-eyed raven. I've seen all, and I understand. Like, I am the one that's here to determine whether or not the reset needs to happen.
Oh, okay.
And I, as a three-eyed raven, like have deemed I have seen a lot of good, and I am here to tell you that you are no longer needed. And the Night King's like, yeah, I don't know about that. And Bran's like, okay, you are aware that like this is my function, correct? And they're like, yes, no, we're still gonna do what we're gonna do.
All right.
All right, then I guess we fight. And Bran basically is like, I guess we shake hands and see each other in the next life. And Bran shakes hands with the Night King and just disintegrates the Night King. All the while disintegrating himself.
No, whoa!
He was like, I am the one. I am here to tell you that there is still good in this kingdom, and your services are no longer required.
Wow.
So there is an overarching, there is a philosophical reason for the Night King being defeated so easily. It's like there is good here. We're okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with him being defeated so easily because now there is good, but we have to make sure that it wins the day.
So what happens to the army, the undead army? Everyone just
yeah, bleh. Or it could be fun to watch, the
little mop up.
Little mop up. But yeah, the Night King is toast. Bran is gone. There is no longer a Night King. There is no longer a three-eyed raven.
Close the book on Bran. His story's over.
The three-eyed raven has served its purpose.
Okay.
We find out its purpose, and then it
purpose
is
served.
Purpose served.
We done. Moving on.
And it frames it all up, but it also it frames why the political stuff is second. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like we were given the chance to do a good job here, so we need to make sure that we do.
We just had Bran sacrifice himself because we were all going to die.
Because we are worth it, and we have to prove that we're worth it.
Okay.
And then I think once the Night King falls, I think the Lannister soldiers are
They're gone, yeah.
And Jaime is he was like, he goes with them just because he's like, I'm
gonna keep an
I gotta keep an eye on Cersei because I don't know how this is gonna go, but I will
I'm
see
team you guys
later.
Yeah.
So he takes off. I think we realize. Oh, forgive me. When the shot that I was really thinking about when it becomes daytime. Do you know what also becomes daytime? King's Landing, and Cersei and the Greyjoy are in bed or something, and she's like, you probably should go north. Yeah, maybe I don't know what's going on up there, but that's gotta be what it is. Clearly something's wrong.
So the Iron Fleet is heading north.
Iron Fleet heads north, and at this point that's when Theon rescues his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Theon rescues his sister, and basically, like in the show, she frees him of any responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea that they both take their own boat. She's like, I'm gonna go help with the forces that are about to go take King's Landing. You can do whatever you want, and he's just gone.
Okay.
But I like the idea that once, the fact that the Lannisters left so quickly. Really pissed Dany off.
Sure.
And then she gets word that the Iron Fleet is coming, and so she assumes that because the Lannisters are gone and the Iron Fleet is coming, she was like, we are about to get bamboozled.
Yeah.
Even though Jaime is trying to keep that's not what's happening, she's starting to get paranoid, and she's like, I'm not going to sit here and get slaughtered by a bunch of Lannisters and Greyjoys. That's not happening. She takes the two dragons and completely bodies the Grey Fleet or the Greyjoy fleet.
Nice.
The Iron Fleet is gone. Hey, that character nobody cares about? Yeah, he's sunk at the bottom of the ocean.
Hey, what is
Done.
Dead Can Never Die, Jay? It's all good.
But I like the
Paying
shot
the iron price.
If I were to do an act break, it would be Theon and his sister sailing away on two separate boats, and then just out of the background, just a shadow, and then it opens up on. But I like the idea that John is like, I will go with you. I'll ride Viserion.
Sure.
Just so you're not by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And she's merciless. she murders everyone. It's the kind of thing where like there's even defenseless boats that like very clearly don't need to be taken care of, and she's killing everyone. And John is finally like, you don't like you didn't need to do it like this. You didn't need to, this was senseless. And she's just like, you were just trying to paint me like a tyrant so you can just take the throne. And he's just like, no,
you're
no.
my queen.
No,
My queen.
you're my queen.
You're my queen.
You're my queen, Steve McQueen. And then she like, John is there. They're not doing great.
No, they're not.
They're not doing awesome. And so John basically spends his time with like Sansa and Arya. I also like the idea that Arya and the Hound take off by themselves.
Sure.
I'm actually gonna steal something from you. I know.
What?
I know. I will fast forward because I think I've spent enough time. I think we get to King's Landing. I love the idea of Jaime being with
Cersei.
Jaime being with Cersei, and I like the idea of Jaime and the Hound fighting the Mountain after Arya has killed Cersei. But I think it's the kind of thing where that scene takes place after Dany has kind of laid waste to the exterior defenses of King's Landing.
Sure.
The difference being, and before this like the fight and stuff like that, the thing being is that and where Jaime kind of turns on Cersei is that all of these defenses are burning, and Jaime's like, ring the bells, surrender. You need to surrender. There are a lot of good people here. These are our people. These are our people.
Yeah.
You have to ring the bells. And she will not relent.
No, she will not.
She will not relent.
Mm-mm.
And so Cersei is taken out by Arya. The Mountain and Jaime and the Hound fight, and I guess Arya's in the mix as well.
Sure.
But I think it comes to a point where Jaime leaves because he's like, we have to, like, I love a shot of him running through like the castle, like trying to get or running through the city trying to get the bells rung.
Sure.
But like, surrender, like blah blah blah, and he's like rallying all of like the land. I like the idea that like he is trying to bring honor back to the Lannisters.
Yes.
And he is trying to be the leader and the servant that we all know him to be.
Now he can do it. Yes.
Yeah. And it comes down to the bells start ringing, and we see Dany like in the same spot, and she has all the soldiers like outside of
outside of the city,
and you see her. I like the idea with the dragon posted like on top of the gate.
Sure.
And she starts making a speech. It's not just like an inside her head choice. It's like she makes a speech. She was like, they ring the bells, but these people don't. Like, she starts making a huge speech about how we're gonna sack this city anyways and just start anew, start fresh. Like, we'll cleanse this city of everything that's wrong with Westeros and blah blah blah.
We get the speech before the turn this time.
Yes, and John comes out finally. Like, Tyrion looks at him and is like,
bro,
like, and John comes out and he's like, no.
Okay. Whoa,
And she was like, you're an usurper. I don't believe that you're a Targaryen. Like, you have no right to tell me what to do. And the dragon reels up and she blasts Jon Snow. Whoa! Like, the dragon leans up and just absolutely Dracarys. Yes, indeed. And the fire stops, the smoke clears, and we see Jon Snow,
super naked, just ripped and just sexy scars and just
the unburnt.
That's whoa.
And she sees that. She thought she was the only one that could be that. She thinks she was the chosen one because she was unburnt, and realizes, oh. And I think she realizes, like,
Uh-oh.
She flies away. Like, it's that sacrifice that John makes, and like when he comes out and she's like, oh no, and she's gone. And then I think it's, like the city has surrendered,
Right.
and the problem is that their conqueror is nowhere to be found. And so I like the idea that there is a council, and Dany finally shows up, and it's just like, I realized that I was turning into my father. I am not.
And
her
brother?
Yes. I am not fit to sit on the Iron Throne. And that's where we see Dany. She was like, I am the breaker of chains. Like, the Unsullied and I are going to continue our crusade for people that can't defend themselves. She takes off.
Okay.
I like the idea that she finally realizes, like, this is what I'm good at. I'm not fit to lead. I'm fit to save people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm sorry. Keep going. That's really good. I like that.
And I like the idea that Jaime decides to go back to Castle Rock and finally be the leader of. He renounces Kingsguard.
Yeah.
He finally takes and like, of course, Tyrion is like, no, you're just doing exactly what Dad always wanted you to do. And he's like, shut up. I'm actually pretty good at it. He's like, you are.
To the surprise of everyone.
But he also, he's like, and I've also like, he asked Brienne of Tarth to, be his queen. Obviously, it's very sweet. It's like a really cool moment.
McQueen.
And then it finally becomes like, who is?
We need a king.
And it finally comes to fruition. Like, obviously everyone's pointing to John and blah, 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 blah. And John is like, after all of this, and after all of this stuff has come to light, like, I've realized that, like, while my parentage may be Targaryen, my real father was a Stark.
Mm-hmm.
And so with permission of all of you, I'm going to continue being King of the North. And Jon Stark,
hey,
he just takes the moniker, and he is King of the North. Sansa's a little pissed.
I'm about to say, what happens to Sansa?
Sansa's a little pissed.
Yeah,
but she gets it. She, Sansa's always been a little bit of a pickle. And
that's the way of putting it.
The only other person that has technically claim to the throne.
Oh, that's right. You said it was. Yes. Okay. I have no idea. I have no idea who's going to pick
The only other
here.
person that has any claim to the throne, Gendry. He's a Baratheon. It's Gendry. Because he's the most unassuming of person, but he's also a man of the people.
I totally forgot about Gendry.
Yeah. But we set up their romance. We do all that stuff.
Oh, sure.
But that's when Gendry says, like,
That's a great
pull. I will accept the throne.
Sure.
And in order to promote an alliance with a free North,
yes,
I would ask for Arya Stark's hand in marriage to be queen.
That's great.
And Arya says no.
Of course she says no. She doesn't want to be anyone's wife.
Says no, and she dips out. And yeah, and that's pretty. I mean, like, there's some other stuff that could be wrapped up here and there, like
sure. What does Arya do?
No,
the only people I care about. What does Arya do?
No, do you know what happens? Arya is like, oh, I've rented a boat, like I've booked travel, and she shows up to the dock. And her Theon is her boatmaster, and that's how he's gonna like make his amends to the Stark family.
Sure.
Is by helping Arya, go on boat murders.
Do adventure.
Go on boat murders.
Sea vengeance.
But yeah, that's kind of like my.
That's the name of the boat. That's the name of the boat. TM.
Yeah, that's kind of my overarching fix of Game of Thrones.
Way better. Gendry, way better
because he's a man of the people.
He is. He's a blacksmith's son.
It's a new dawn of.
He's got a badass hammer.
It's a new dawn of Westeros, man.
Yeah, man.
It's like gone are these like I don't want the royalty to be gods anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's it.
That was great.
Yeah. Thank you. I was really worried about that.
No, you did a fantastic job.
Woo!
Good job. Don't ever doubt yourself.
Oh, I'm not.
Peaches
oh,
never
I'm
say
not.
die.
Peaches never say die, baby.
Good job, bud.
All right.
That was a long one.
Yeah, sorry. Did I go too long?
No. You didn't go too long. Just in general, this has been about close to 90 minminutes.
Oh, wow.
Good job, us. Thanks for sticking around, everybody.
Thanks for sticking around, you guys.
Hope you
We
enjoy
appreciate
these fixes. I mean, I feel confident enough in saying that they were way better than season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I sure hope House of the Dragon is pretty good.
I hope it's good too.
I have no expectations. I just hope it's
I
okay.
don't have any malice for House of Dragon. I am kind of weirdly rooting for it.
Well, Matt Smith is in it. Everyone loves the 11th Doctor.
It is true. I just I hope that they can find some kind of. I hope that they can retcon a happy feeling in my heart with Game of Thrones, because when that show was kicking, there was nothing better.
There was
on
nothing
TV,
better.
Dude. There was nothing better on
Nope.
TV. That's what everyone was talking about. It was a great time to be a nerd.
Because everyone was joining us.
Oh yeah. Well, this is our episode of Fix It, you guys. Thank you
did
so
it.
much for listening. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you are listening on all of the audio podcatcher apps, if you wouldn't mind leaving us 5 stars and maybe writing a review, that would be hugely helpful. It actually goes a long way to being helpful.
It does.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, and hitting that bell.
Commenting is also good. We love the engagement.
Do that, YouTube, that you do so well. And as we say at the end of every one of these Fix It
All
episodes,
4 of them.
heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It's the slow knife, Jay. Surprise! At the very end, I'm Talia al Ghul, which is actually I'm Arya Stark stab.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.